And we're back with video number 9 in our 10-session series on living the life you love, how to get free of anxiety, depression, and stress. This video is about creating structures for everyday practice, because if we don't practice on a very regular basis, facing our fear to watch it dispel and set ourselves free, it will find tricky ways to creep back in. Freud had quite the saying. He said, if one place in town is given sanctuary, all the thieves will gather there. Meaning if one part of our mind is given permission not to be addressed, where we don't have to face our fear, then all of our other problems will gather behind that and fester and recreate themselves with new disguises. In this exercise, we're going to find ways to practice every day, because the key to success is to practice facing your fear regularly enough and intensively enough. If it's not intensive enough, you're not really getting the experience of freeing yourself from fear to discover that it doesn't have any power over you. And if it's not regular enough, then you'll have a great experience of freedom from fear, but it'll creep back in and sabotage you in so many other hidden ways. Sam Keen wrote an interesting book called Learning to Fly, where he describes his experiences in his 60s. I don't remember if he was 60 years old or older, but at that age, he took up trapeze lessons. And he did it because he wanted to face his fears. And he has a terrific line in there, which I like to borrow, that goes like this: "A fear a day keeps the psychiatrist away." Let that be your motto as you find not one fear a day, but I'm going to recommend at least 3 fears a day to face. They don't have to be anything big or scary, but of course the more you face fear, the more freedom you get. The more intensively you face it, and the bigger the fear, the more the size of your freedom. 3 fears a day at a minimum to face in the name of your freedom. Why do we want to commit to 3 fears in advance? Because it has you then going through your day looking for the ways in which fear has caused you to run away or avoid or hide from your life. When we're looking for it in advance, we bring what's been unconscious into consciousness. Our defenses, the defenses we use to protect ourselves from our fear, are long buried in our unconscious. As we said at the beginning of this series, we build a whole personality according to these defenses, these various ways we use to protect ourselves from fear and try to make sure we can control our lives and get some of the success that we hope to get without fear taking it away. But these defenses become our personality style, and they backfire insofar as they keep us always fixated on the fear. Our minds are always preoccupied with, what fear do I have to be ready to defend against? And someone comes along and we say to ourselves, are they a friend or enemy? I have to be on guard and ready to defend myself against them. A situation comes along and we say, is this going to threaten to take away what I really want most out of life? But in that situation, you might face the fear and make up a new story, as we talked about in one of the previous sessions. This situation isn't threatening to take away what I want in life. It's the perfect opportunity to help me get what I want. I'm going to make it a platform from which I launch my greatest dreams. Something like that. Finding 3 or more fears a day to face will have you keep in the front of your mind this most important goal of setting yourself free from the illusion of fear so you can live the life you love. There is a value to committing to 3 or more fears a day to face and writing them down. Carrying perhaps a notepad with you and writing them down as you go, or writing them down at the end of the day to assess how well you did in your program of freeing yourself from fear. A more powerful way to do the same thing is to analyze each time you find a fear to face, how your chief defense is at work here, how it is trying to convince you not to face this fear, to run away, and more importantly, how it robs you of satisfaction in life. There's an exercise in my book, Radical Joy, which says, let's do a cost-benefit analysis. Look at the particular ways in which not facing your fear costs you something in the way of freedom and the joy of life, but also has its benefits, or its apparent benefits, because it convinces you that you are staying safe from fear and you don't have to live your life full out. We're very good at convincing ourselves it's better not to really take a risk, but again, the cost is we don't get to live our lives fully and enjoy all of our potential. One final point in this exercise is, if we're looking at how our core fear and chief defense are at work each time we want to face the fear, then it gives us the opportunity to not only face the fear, but act against the defense, doing the opposite of what our defense says to do, so that we can actually start to create joy in that moment. What was our fear, what was our enemy, becomes our best friend, as again, it becomes a launching pad for creating the good in our lives. In the next and final video, we're going to be putting all this down on paper in a structure that's designed to help you reach your goals on deadlines in a way that minimizes the chance for fear to sabotage you.